Oh,
What? The Discord ended.
I accidentally pressed the wrong button here.
Yeah. You can join back. It's okay.
To minimize.
We are streaming now.
All right. Welcome.
We are rolling. What's up, man?
What's going on?
What's going
Can
on,
you hear me? We're all good.
Mr. Mike, yes. Loud and
yes. Clear. Well. I'm well.
How's the energy going? Good?
Good.
It's another week, man. Time goes on fast, right? I mean, just 5 days passed. Yeah. 7 days passed. Wow. 7 days, yeah.
Well, if you keep busy, it flies by. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes really slow. Like, I mean, super slow.
It goes, yes. But when you have goals and when you're trying to change something and, approach a different target in your life and move on, it's like time flies fast and you feel like there's no time to do the things that you want to do. And, we are not just focused on doing art. That's the thing that actually makes us busier.
There's essentially what happens, I think, the saying is there's not enough time in the day and you want to do enough things and you never feel, you're never satisfied with anything that you do. That's the human condition. Yeah. Like I was listening to something I'm not sure I've told you about Eckhart Tolle.
Yes.
And I was listening to it last night before I fell asleep, and they were talking about how the spirit, they believe the spirit in us is limitless and it lives on forever and ever.
Yeah.
And kind of that desire to always want is that's the spirit to always, you always want more and more, and that's your spirit. I think I might be butchering it, but essentially that, that desire is always going to be there. Even if you're, 80, you're still going to have that desire, but you're going to be slower at getting it. So it's that's meant to be the spirit. And I don't know, it's a bit, it's all that, the way you explain things, it's always hard to explain stuff.
Yeah.
Without sounding airy fairy. But it's just the drive, it's the eternal drive to grow and evolve, and even at any age, you're constantly wanting to do that. So
yeah. And there's a lot of signs that you can see actually when you grow. One of them is jealousy. It's very obvious. I think what we want to talk about. Yeah, and everyone faces that. And actually brought into this conversation very interesting in an interesting way. Because I was actually talking to a friend of mine a couple of days ago. When you have a big goal in life and you try to push and achieve things, it doesn't matter. Big goal is subjective. Everyone has different plans for their goals, right? Someone's big goal could be buying a car. Someone's big goal could be buying a house. Someone could be having $1 billion business, right? I mean, the size of it doesn't matter. It's just if it's big for you, that's a goal, right? And when you do that, there's actually, it's imagine you're actually going through a tunnel of humans on both sides, right? And there's your goal on the other side of the bridge, and there's time, right? Time goes on. This is time. It goes on just like this. When you let it pass, if you try to stay, when you go through those people, what happens? They start beating you down. Some of them will fight for you. Some of them will beat you down, right? If you decide to stay there and imagine fighting with them and trying to defend yourself, getting punched, and they want to punch you or throw stones at you and hit you with a bat and all that, right? Your goal is waiting there, and the time is passing. The bridge is going to get ruined, get destroyed or whatever because of the time, right? So what happens? If you ignore the things that happens on both sides and just go forward, then you will get there, regardless of how hard or how much you get beat down. And then if you decide to fight with each of these people one by one, what's going to happen? You will not have time to go. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that's what I was saying to you. I said that quote that I came up with. What is it? The moment has passed. What is it? I can't even bloody remember it now. I wrote it down this morning, but if you think about the way you have to, I go through a bunch of stuff. process things. So like, you accept the moment, for the moment has passed. That's what I said to you this morning,
Yes.
right? You accept the moment, for the moment has passed. Like that's just, it's a way of thinking about, not, you just have to accept it. The moment's passed, and the quicker you move on, the quicker you can grow, because growth comes from moving on,
Growth,
right?
and the more you grow, the more
You
actually
realize things.
you will realize things, and then
Yeah.
there will be like more beat down. There will be more jealousy, different
Mm.
acts, right? I mean, because I think that's a normal human behavior when you try to do
Yeah.
something positive. Because at the end of the day, like if you have the guts to put yourself out there and do something positive or achieve big goals, like not many actually can do that. Not many have the guts to do that. Not many have the desire to do that. They may have the desire, but if they had, they would have done it, right? And they will feed off the negative energy and your goal basically, right?
Human beings naturally feed off negativity.
Yes.
Look at the news.
Yeah, exactly.
Naturally.
That's a good comparison.
And so, like, if you see negativity, it's like, oh, a celebrity's having a problem. I feel so much better with myself now.
Wow.
Because we feed off
Yeah, that
negativity.
man. I
We
mean,
feed it off.
a good example is this. I'm not a fan of Kardashians or Kanye West or any of that, right? I don't care about them. I'm not a fan of them. I don't like their ideology. But the reality is they're successful. They have done everything for their family. They help charities. They have done things that others cannot do, right? No matter what, they put themselves out there. They accepted the controversy. They accepted the polarity. What else? Like they actually are doing something, right? They employ people. They help the economy. But they're like that. That's how they can do it. They don't have any other ways. But that's respectful, to be honest with you. Right? They're not Elon Musk or any sort of scientist to do any help to the humanity, right? And we are not we are the same. We are artists. We're not doing anything that could actually affect the humanity in a good way. You know what I mean? Like if there's no games or films, nothing happens. Everyone is living their life.
This would affect people in a good way.
It does, yes, it does. But
This would.
but what I'm
So you
saying
don't
is like
think-
it's not. It's an extra,
Yeah.
right? If an apocalypse happened, the last thing you want to think about is playing games or a movie, watching a movie.
Well,
right?
Games. There's the argument of games are. I mean, did you see what Joe Rogan said about games? Like games are purely a waste of time. Purely a waste of time. There's
Yes.
the argument that games absolutely serve no purpose, right?
Yeah.
But you can say that a lot of things. It's like even eating tasty food, watching porn. They at the end of the day they serve no purpose except to numb a feeling and to take time out, right?
Yeah. I mean, Diego says, but in the pandemic, the art helped a lot of people. That's true. Art is a pure form. Art is actually relieving. You know, I became an artist because of the things that I was going through in life.
Well, I mean, there you go. Maybe you're downselling how important art is. You're comparing it to things like eating junk food, perhaps, or binging on things.
Art is actually very important, to be honest with you. Everything is art.
Everything
we do in life is art.
Art is like an expression.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if you get people to express something, they're not necessarily... So a game is like, I'm doing this thing. There's some expression in a game if you can level up in a game, but if you can't really do any of that, so maybe there's an argument to make here or there. Maybe the things like if you're sitting and drinking alcohol, right, and just getting drunk, that doesn't serve any purpose except to numb yourself. You're rewarding yourself with, and games are kind of like that reward thing of self-numbing. So, but art is not a self-numbing. It's somewhat meditative. Like you sit there and you meditate with art. So,
yeah, I agree.
This is post X.
I think
XYZ.
I lost your desktop.
You lost my desktop?
No,
you haven't.
No, I got it. Okay, let's go.
If you think of the stories of Jesus Christ as art, they have several. They served as an immense role model for thousands and thousands.
Who's saying
people
that?
Who's saying that? Have made. I've got that double loop.
Yeah, I think I joined the group again. Turn off your microphone in Discord. This is weird.
It's actually disconnected. Hold on a sec. It's totally froze up on me.
It's okay. Let's keep it off for now. We can we won't need it. If we needed it, we can get connected again.
It's all right. Yeah, we'll do it. Okay. Yeah, just saying how art has served people.
If you think of role model.
I
still hear myself. What the hell is going on?
Oh no, mine's off. Yeah,
okay. I found it.
Yeah.
All right, you shouldn't hear it now.
Yeah, it's all good.
Was acting up, so you can share your screen if you want.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, art. Look, pretty much art is good. Art is an expression. Art, no matter what, no matter what art is, it's an expression of something, and then you're finding people who will like it, and then pretty much love you for what you do because it's like Frank Frazetta, right? He never made flat out porn. He made porn in a sense of it's porny, but it's people love it because there's a fantasy behind it, and you've invented something new, and you've expressed something that people relate to. So it's not the same consumer of I'm just going to binge on that Frank Frazetta stuff. So it serves a purpose. So the people enjoy it when they look at it. So that's what you essentially. So don't sell yourself short. And I think a lot of people as artists, this could be the reason why artists actually don't make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. Art. I'm not talking about art. I'm not talking about art. Art is actually needed always, right? I mean, whatever you design is important, right? What I'm talking about is art is different. Art is actually a form of expression. Art is something it's a language, right? You cannot get rid of language, just like music. Music is a form of language. Music is not just for pure joy or being sad or anything. Like, for example, when I play Chopin or listen to Chopin or Beethoven, they actually have a form of language. You can actually hear what they're talking about using the chord progressions. When you understand music, you can actually feel it. And this is something that actually it's like forms in art, in sculpting, right? It's the same thing. Violin is the same thing. Like, if you don't understand the language of violin, you will not be able to play it. It's not easy. Violin is really hard. You need to actually feel it. You need to actually be able to express it. You know what I'm saying? That's art. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know what actually happened that we came this far on the conversation. But I mean, going back to jealousy, that's a big problem. Like, every human being is dealing with, and it's actually holding them back.
It's normal. It's normal to judge everyone you see.
Yeah.
So
without knowing their background.
So what I do now is I practice. So you have to practice. So you're pretty much your thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you think about is eventually will shape you. So if you become really judgmental with everyone you see and you judge every little thing, you can become really judgmental. Like I've been in that state where I've been super judgmental of everything around me and everyone in it, and it's just not a good place to be. And essentially, if you go around holding no judgment to anything, you live purely in the moment. So I've been in that sense of I never lived in the moment. So I would always be very good with remembering things. Or say if you were to go somewhere, you'd remember to take things with you. But now what I notice now is I'm like, like we were doing the whole at the start of the video, I was like forgetful. Yeah, because I'm living more in the moment. The way my thoughts are working now is that I'm just living in the moment. I'm not pulling.
Because think about it, in the quantum physics side of the world, right, in the universe, the moment is the only thing that exists. What is beyond the moment? Every there's no future actually. Whatever you think about is the moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about the future. What is now is the future. 2 seconds ago I talked about the future, right? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So the reality is we give too much shit about the things that we shouldn't give a shit, and that's holding us back. We spend time being jealous on others, which is like, I cannot be worse than that. Like, that's the worst enemy you can have in your life, like being jealous of others. I mean, it's wow. I mean, I get a goosebump when I think about it.
Well,
it destroys you. It destroys the person. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not sure you never read that book, The Game of Life, and it's about it's a little bit like hocus. It has a little bit of hocus pocus, but I think there's a lot of truth to a lot of things in life. So if you think negative thoughts about people and other people, that's like a toxicity within you, right? That floods you.
Yeah.
Like, that's negative, right? And so if you were negative towards, let's say if you were negative towards yourself and you became like like you said, I am crap and I am all this and all the really negative things, and you say it enough times, your subconscious mind believes it, and then it'll take it on, and then it'll be like, okay, we're ready to be crap. You can tell yourself enough things in life and it will become true.
It's
because you're sitting
Oh, dude, that's 100% true. And you know what's interesting?
What else are you gonna get?
Yeah, and when you think about jealousy or talking shit about others or trying to affect someone else's lives in a bad way, the energy will come back to you. It's gonna hold you down. Actually, people don't notice. Like it's a very important thing that people don't underestimate it, and they are like constantly complaining why my life is like this, why my life is like that, right? Because you spend too much energy on things that doesn't matter. Huh?
You're whinging.
Yes.
You shouldn't whinge.
No, you shouldn't. That's a good way to say it.
Don't whinge. That's the advice to people.
Just forward.
Just forward. Because then if you get, like, it's like the line is like, I'm going to whinge, but you could be so much more forward if you didn't spend any time whinging.
Yes. I mean, you could go faster.
Like,
that's what I'm telling you. It's like when you have two sides, they hold weapons to hit you when you're trying to go through the tunnel to get to your goal, right? If you want to stand there and fight with everyone or anything like that, I mean, what's going to happen? Everyone is going to beat you. You will die there. But if you run, if you just run, that's it.
Yeah.
Eventually, they will have to fight with each other. You will run. They will fight with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, like David Goggin. I mean, that's the best. That guy doesn't think about shit. The things he has achieved is insane.
Yeah.
It just gives me goosebumps. I think about it. I'm like, shit. I'm not doing anything comparing to that guy.
Look, I mean, he has an awesome saying: "Pain is just an emotion, just a feeling."
Yeah,
it is. So, like, pain is nothing. I mean, I guess if it is something to tell the body, "Hey, stop." But let's say if you're really inflexible, and you know that you need to wake up every day and stretch, and you don't do it, and you really just like, oh, it's painful. Well, the thing is, though, like, you need to do it, or it's painful to sit and work for a lot of hours.
Yeah,
that's your brain like enduring and learning. So, like, just by getting flexible and doing like things like yoga and stuff, it's going to be painful, but you will get rewarded by it. You will be rewarded by the pain. Pain equals reward. Essentially,
pain equals reward. Pressure equals reward.
Yeah.
And the most important of all, being selfless. Like, if you want to do something, I mean, having some people say that I want to do something, I want to do this, I want to get rich, I want to do that. The key to get there is like to help others, regardless. When you help others, some people will actually beat you down, some people will get jealous, some people will like you, but you'll become successful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the key. Like, I mean, pure, like, everyone you talk about is actually, this is their goal. Like, Elon Musk's goal was not to make money. He wasn't planning to become a billionaire. He wasn't planning to become the third richest person in the world. It's his fourth or third one now. He didn't think about that at all. Zero. He put all of his money into his goal, right? And everyone judged him, like from the people buying the stocks on Tesla or SpaceX being too ambitious, and this guy Warren Buffett has started joking about him and talking shit about him. Everyone, even Warren Buffett, yeah, they have even
jealousy,
man. I'm telling you. Yeah. And Jeff Bezos, they have like a beef together. And you know what, Warren Buffett? There was an interview. Someone said brought the name of Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk said, "Jeff who?"
Oh,
it doesn't matter, because that's your goal. Your goal is not to satisfy that guy. Your goal is not to.
Would you say Elon Musk said that?
Elon Musk said, "Jeff who?"
Wow.
And guess who is gonna take us to Mars? Guess who is gonna save the humanity in the future? If there's one person, that's Elon Musk.
Yeah,
there's a chance that he's going to save us. But what about Warren Buffett? What about Warren Buffett investing, becoming richer and richer at age 89? For how many more years? He can talk as much shit he wants about Elon Musk, become jealous, right? What's going to happen after?
Well, I think let's be realistic. Elon Musk will be the richest man in the world.
He's going to
because whoever goes into space and gets all the minerals.
It's not about that. It's not about that, dude. I know what you're saying. Like, that's a side effect of it, right?
On the side effect side of it. He knows it's a side effect part of it, because we live off the minerals of the earth and we need it. And he's solving the biggest problem of all, is getting out there in space and growing to the endless reaches.
And let's be honest, like when you do something good, like Elon Musk, of course Warren Buffett is going to be upset, because he knows Elon Musk is going to be the richest person at some point, right? So without buying Coca-Cola stock or any crap like that, I invested in the stock market, but that's an extra thing that I want to like have more financial freedom, but that's not my goal. Yeah, to back me up. But why? Back me up for what? What is my purpose? I don't want to sit in front of TV and watch TV or just play games. That's not my goal. I've done that. That's enough. For the rest of my life, I want to be useful. You know what I mean? Like I want to have the feeling of getting fulfilled by, because of my students. Every time someone is messaging me, dude, I get these messages. That's like, I cannot describe the feeling of it. I just forget about everything. I feel like shit. I'm doing something.
Yeah.
If I'm affecting someone's life, basically.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
it's a good thing.
It's a big thing, man. Like if I change your life, then if you have kids, it's going to affect your kids' life. And essentially, this is what people don't understand, which they should understand. This is what they don't understand. We don't live for ourselves. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what you say. It's about life. This is a fucking thing everyone is forgetting about. Everyone's like, I want this, I want that. Fuck you, fuck that. What the fuck? For real. Where do people want to go? I mean, what do you get from jealousy or
look, it's hard not to get jealous.
Yeah. It's a natural human behavior, but we have evolved. We need to be aware of it.
Well, they say that once you become aware, you never become unaware. And it's a habit of forming the new, so the old habits are going to sit. So like if you were like a really judgmental person, or you like just judging, you're not going to let go of that jealousy anytime soon. Actually, you will eventually.
Yeah, you will eventually.
But the more you practice something, the more you think about something, you'll get rid of it.
I mean, it's a scary part, because the older you get, the harder it's going to get, because your brain neural wires are getting more solidified, right? I mean, you may not be able to change that at some point.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I don't know. I'm not a brain scientist, but
like I've read books on that, and they say that as long as you're making effort to change, so if you're educating yourself and you're being well aware, because you have people, so you've got people in their 80s still forming new businesses.
Yeah. And where does that come from? Is it because of them?
It comes from being open-minded.
They're selfless. They're selfless.
Yeah.
It's not about them anymore. You know what I mean? You could grow up, and then like at an early age, you could get stuck
maybe even in your 20s, doing the one thing like for maybe 4 or 5 years and just be like, well, why not change straight away and keep doing new stuff? Because I think if we're not open-minded, no matter what age we get into, like you have women, there was a woman, I think she was like 80 and she went back to studying, right, to study a new career at 80. So, I mean, the limitations the fact that you have put that limitation just in the vocabulary that you just used, screwing yourself up. It's like you saying, you can't make $100 million. Like you've limited yourself. Like why limit yourself? Why? The limitation comes from whatever everyone else has said, right? And you know what the weird thing is?
That's a very good way to say it. Limitation is what everyone else. You need to write that, by the way. That limitation is what everyone else said. Okay.
Limitation is what everyone else tells you.
Yes. And here's the thing. I actually realized that because we are human beings and there's nothing wrong with it, right? But we are social creatures. We're evolved to actually work in, live in a group and hunt together, right? So that actually makes us to actually be vulnerable to the crap that others feed us. Could be jealousy, could be negativity, could be like holding you back. So when someone says you cannot do it, you will relate to that because that's the nature of your subconscious mind and the natural way that your brain reacts. Because the majority are saying that you shouldn't do that, right? So the moment majority say, "Hey, you cannot do that. That's not good," you should actually do that. Warren Buffett says a good thing. He says, "Be greedy when others are fearful. Be fearful when others are greedy." Do exactly the opposite. I'm doing that in the stock market, and it works every single time. There's no secret to it. When a stock goes down, I'll just buy. When it goes up, I'm not doing anything. If it goes down, I'll buy again. Goes up, I'm not doing anything. Same thing with life. When people tell me, "Hey, you shouldn't leave that job," I'm like, I'm up to something. I need to do something. I'm doing something here. I change my job, things change. 100%.
Yeah.
It's extreme way. The fear is actually what's holding people back. That's why people work in group, because fear is what you're used to when you lived as packs of people, tribes in Africa, right? That's where we came from. I mean, that's what I believe in, based on science. And because we are adopted to that, it's hard to get rid of the fear, because fear is an alarm, right? It's just notifying you something is bad going to happen. Be careful, right? That's a natural reaction, which is not evolved over time.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So that's the thing. Like, I think fear and insecurity is actually source of all this negativity and jealousy, and all the negative stuff that is holding us back, basically. And I'm actually feeling like every time I'm doing the opposite way, it's working. Every single time it's working. Like people say, I don't have time to do this. You have time to do it. You don't want to do it. That's an excuse.
And it's forming the habit to do it. You might not like we get a little bit stuck on when we start the podcast, we waste a little bit of time here and there. Yeah. And we'll go, and that's what I said to you. We'll get better the next time.
It's a constant progress, getting better, right? So,
and you get faster at the not meaningless, but the little details that, if you learn a new program, and you're like, oh, I got to learn all these hotkeys. You're like, taking your time to learn the hotkey and go through the process, and it's really slowing down the process. But believe it or not, once you get you'll speed up exponentially, and then the brain flows from there. Yeah. And it's like driving a manual car. You're forever connected. And so that expression happens through everything that we do. But for example, a person let's see a person could get a car that is manual or automatic, and they're going to go, I want to be in an auto, because of the fact that they'll have to sit and learn a manual. And when you first start driving, you're pretty young. Yeah. But the thing is, that person's already limiting themselves in their ability to learn manual. Well, if you learn a manual, you wouldn't have to change your clutch as much. You'd actually get more better petrol mileage. you'll be able to drive the car faster. So there's benefits to
Not
doing the harder
anymore.
thing.
Not anymore. But I get your point. Yes, with PDK2
Yeah,
it's
so like,
changed, but technology will
has
change that. Yeah.
so even at a young age, people opt out. So like if you move along with that flow, even because we were trying to say, well, at any age you can do anything, and you shouldn't. Age is just a number. Like age is just a number, and then the fact that you're limiting yourself. Like you have people who say that, like you say that you're in your 30s now, right? And you say that you feel like you're 20 again. It's because you've invigorated your goal.
Dude, I actually have changed so far so much, because last year I wasn't happy, and there was multiple forces from outside. There was myself, my rigidity to change, right? You said something that I wanted to bring that up. I mean, when you're rigid to change, when you're actually defending the situation you're in, and when you know that you're wrong, when you know that what you're saying is wrong, when you know that you're jealous and you shouldn't be, when you know that the things that you're actually doing is wrong, but because of your ego, you're saying like you want to fight the fight because you have ego. You need to crush that ego, because that ego is like your enemy. Ego is destroying you. None of the big people in any industry, they have ego. They never, because that ego is the person inside you that is holding you back, right? You know that you're wrong. How many times you told me stuff and you said, "Hey, listen to this. I'm seeing this." I'm like, "Yes, Mike, you're right." If I don't let the ego, because you can feel it, it's coming out. No, don't listen to him. He's fucking with you.
Yeah.
Fuck Mike.
Yeah,
right?
It consumes you.
It consumes you. It's a powerful source of energy. It's a powerful entity, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I think, like, I had a podcast with Samuel Poirier, the greatest sculptor. He's such a nice guy, man. We had 1 hour conversation after that, 1 hour and a half. It's so easy to talk to this guy. I can relate to him very much, right? And it makes sense. But the problem is, like, majority of the average people, they don't understand this, because they let the old what do you call it? I don't know, like personality or whatever that is not evolved yet, push them back, hold them back. But inside, everyone knows they're wrong. It's just that ego is trying to say, "Hey, prove me I'm right. I need to be right. I need to be the right person." I made that mistake many times. I made that mistake. But how many times that you told me something, "Hey, Siamak, you're doing this is wrong." What did I tell you? Did I ever try to hold back? If I did, you explain what happened.
Oh, if you tried to justify your ego?
Yeah. You were like, "Look at this. This is wrong." You're like, "Yes."
Yeah.
If you open it, you can see it.
Because I'll be like, "Hey, look, I'll be honest with you. This is how this looks, and you do the same for me." If I'm going towards that and being stubborn in any which way of doing something, so it's essentially ego is comfort.
It's comfort, but it's a negative energy that is actually destroying your subconscious mind, and it's holding you back from getting to success, from getting to love, from helping others. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stops you from seeing the things for what they really are. Yeah. Essentially.
I think part of it, ego is the part of the cause of jealousy, to be honest with you.
I think so. In a way.
If you think about it, well, I don't have that. Why should I have that? I'm not doing, this guy's doing that. Why am I not doing that? That's ego, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Why can't I do that? Well, why can't you do it? I mean, you haven't done it. It's like, if you have the argument, it's like, you could do it. You just have to do it.
Yeah, if you could do it. Why you're trying to be jealous of someone or talk about someone or do shit, or, you don't have to jump around. You just sit down, relax, and think about it, and just make a change and decide to do something. You know what's interesting? People actually don't understand this. Average public, they're smart, because we are made to be smart to protect ourselves, right? Everyone can understand body language. Some people don't pay attention to it, because we live in a society which is going forward too fast, and we are losing some of our senses, but we notice stuff, right? And when you do something, people will notice. They will see through your eyes. That's the door to your soul.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way to deny that. If you do a mistake, I don't know if you have. I mean, when I was a kid, or at some point, even in my career or whatever, when I made mistakes, people saw through it. They spoke to me. I'm like, oh shit, this guy, I'm doing something wrong here. Right? And then when you actually understand that that subject is actually making you get rid of the insecurities, be more confident, understand where you want to go in life.
Yeah. It's essentially all the things that we go through and realize about ourselves. Some people don't ever do it. They never. And I guess it's maybe the whole COVID thing is like, I think I had that chat with someone else about it. And
there's a very good question.
Left alone. What's the question?
Marvin W. says, how do you balance having enough ego to believe in yourself, but little enough to keep growing? I mean, growing to me is, I don't consider that ego. Growing is a sense of hunger. Growing is about curiosity. Curiosity doesn't understand ego. You should be curious. You should accept that you don't know shit, right? That means like you have to destroy your ego. Put it behind the door, close the door, come in and sit down and say, okay, ego, just stay outside, give me 2 hours, I want to study. I don't know anything about this subject. I don't want to argue with people about this because I don't know anything about this subject. I need to learn about it. Let me ask a professional about this. Let me read some books. How many people actually read books really? Because they're egoistic. They don't want to spend time to read books. They're too good about like everything. They're master about like a friend of mine posted.
It can be that.
Yes.
It can be that. But it can be lazy. Yeah.
Lazy, you will understand lazy. If they're lazy, they will listen to audiobooks. They will actually listen to podcasts. They will actually watch some documentaries. They will actually listen to others' experiences. That's that, right? But there's a difference. Like I'm not always reading books. I don't always have books in my hand, right? But I can tell you it changed my life. The way I think, the way I actually react to people, the way that I'm trying to plan for my life and make goals. So I think this is my understanding, but I want to hear your side as well. That he says, how do you balance ego? I don't think ego is the reason. I don't know why people say that. I don't think ego is the reason that you want to go. I think survival is the reason that you want to push forward. There is no other reason. Life wants to survive and become immortal because that's how life is. We might actually extinct and another form of being becomes immortal, right? Just like dinosaurs. They were too big. They got extinct. They just got destroyed, right? So I don't think it's ego. I think the sense of curiosity and wanting to make a change is the reason that you can actually grow without having ego.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing with dinosaurs, they didn't. They're reptiles, right? So they didn't. I think they lived forever. A reptile, like a crocodile, can live forever.
Yeah.
But they just keep growing.
Yeah, they just keep growing.
Which is crazy. It's like if we kept growing, imagine.
Oh, we would destroy everything. We would destroy everything. We would destroy everything.
Yeah, in a way. Like
some of us would go to Mars and make a good life. Everyone else is going to eat each other.
I mean, it would grow so big that would be titans on the earth.
Yeah, I think one of the things like wars as a sign of like when there is war as a sign of growth. Things are changing, times are shifting. I think at some point there won't be any war. But I want to hear your opinion about Marvin's question. How do you balance having enough ego to believe in yourself, but little enough to keep growing? What is your take on that?
What's that then? I am just writing something down. So how do you balance having enough ego? So I'm always aware when my ego is popping up. If I'm working on something and I'm making something, I'm like, oh yeah, this looks good. And for how long I sit in that, I think it's very much natural. I've always had a okay sense of saying that, okay, this is good, but then I hate it, and this is good, and then I hate it. I think when you think you're full of it, you're making work and then thinking it's good, and then you release it and no one cares about it.
Yeah.
So that's probably, but the balancing of it is just to be aware of it. And if you get too swept up in it, it's like becoming too happy. You can become too happy. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like
if something
great if something great happens to you, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you got a new job, right? And you're really ecstatic. you have to be pretty aware of how happy you are becoming. And the thing is, because what comes up has to come down.
Oh
So if
yes,
you're like, I've got
there's
a
up and
job,
down.
so I've got a job, and you're like, okay, I've got a job. This isn't the end all of fixing everything.
That's one
Let
step.
me just take it here and then go here, but not go here from here. So you have to be aware. It's like getting angry. I'm going to get angry and then go here. I'm not going to get angry and then keep going up. So just being aware of that, being in the emotion, because nothing in life should be too enjoyable.
No,
Nothing.
it's not. And
because
if it's
then you
too
have
enjoyable,
to crash.
then you should be careful. Yes.
Yeah, but you will crash, and then you have to deal with the side effect of the crash, and then the bunch of emotions that you have to deal with anxiety, anger, and all the other things that are byproducts from not having enough
unless if you're
serotonin
prepared, right? I mean, if you're prepared, if you understand that, if you know that there's always ups and downs, you should, when you're on the upside, you can actually be ready for the downside.
But sometimes there'll be so many situations in your life, if you prepared before, being aware of the emotion that you're going through,
yes.
you're like, okay, this is not like the best thing in the world. But it's not to say that you can't enjoy things. It's to say that you shouldn't go out and feel that you can maximize that enjoyment so much, because unless you are purely ready for it, the crash, yes, what you were saying. Yeah. But I think with some people, we can jump the gun and get too happy over some things. When let's say that it's like we need that little bit of like breaking out. And I say that because getting a great job would make a lot of people happy, but then it will make them comfortable. And the thing is, we don't need that. We need constant growth. So yes, we need to be like, to remind ourselves, like, this is not the best thing in the world. I need to stay on my toes.
That's actually what I want to say. This is very interesting. This is actually something that artists actually need to understand, because they're dedicated to art most of the time, right? We need to understand this. This is a very important subject. When you grow, if you're aware of your growth, if you accept the ego and like the jealousy, you're gonna stop somewhere and you will be like, yeah, I'm the king and I'm the top and no one is better than me, right? That's the moment that you actually stop growing. That's the moment you're actually going to what do you call it when you stay in one place? Like
stagnant.
Stagnant, right? That's going to happen naturally without you actually noticing it, right? And then the time goes on, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, and then you'll see, oh, what the hell? No one is, I'm not, what? I'm not good. Everyone is better than me. What's going on? I was good. I was the king, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like that's how it is. Yeah. Because I think, when you grow enough, when you add enough knowledge to your brain, or whatever you want to call it, it should actually make you more humble, and it should actually make you value more life, regardless of what kind of life it is, animals, humans, or whatever. And it should actually make you be more kind to each other, because that's what the meaning of life is. We are not here to say who is better, who's worse, because think about it, in the size, comparing to the size of the universe, it's just funny. Like we don't even exist. The whole humanity is not even 1 second. If you shrink the time to 24 hours, we never existed. Alexander the Great didn't exist. Cyrus the Great didn't exist. Hitler didn't exist. They don't exist. If there was no book about them, they wouldn't exist. All of their egos and jealousies, gone. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So
nothing.
It's not sustainable. It doesn't exist. Like it's just like an illusion that actually captures your mind, right? And then you stay in this foggy area where you cannot actually see your true self. That it's all covered. It's like you're looking into the mirror, but you don't see the other side of it.
That's good. Yeah.
It's hard to understand. It's very philosophical.
Yeah. Well, is it Samuel Porter?
Yes.
He's
very good. Yes.
Is he very philosophical?
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah. Because I heard he went off for a while from doing 3D art to pursue that. Did he do that?
I didn't ask him about that actually.
Yeah, because I heard that a while ago that he vanished from the 3D scene to pursue something philosophical.
And he's actually
That's what someone.
philosophical. I mean, when I talk to him, he's like, "Art is work is work. It's just art. I don't know anatomy." That's what he's saying. I'm not. I have problems with my conceptual, whatever. Right. So, I think that's a very good mindset to keep in mind, because you understand the value of life is not about how good your art is. It's not about how good your, how smart you are. You know, how good you are. How much rant you do. It's not about that. It's about how do you add value to the person next to you. Like if someone, this is what I want to understand. How many people would actually help someone in the street if someone with I don't know, an old man is stuck in the middle of the street, cannot move? How many people would help that person?
Not many.
Not many. Actually, you know, this is really sad. Like I have seen many times I had to step in. I lived in an apartment complex like 3 years ago before we buy our house, and I came down. A guy fell down really badly. A homeless guy. He was dirty. He was homeless. It's a human being. So what? He smells okay. So what? No one actually went to help him, because everyone was like, "Oh, if we help him, he's gonna call the cops and we get in trouble." I'm like, "No fucking way. That's not the case. This guy fell down. He broke his teeth. He's bleeding."
Yeah,
that was really sad. Like we had to help him. So how many people would do that?
Yeah,
that's the ego, jealousy, thinking about yourself only.
I think people are scared of the situation too.
Like, isn't it ego? Like you're scared of the situation, isn't it ego? Thinking about yourself only, being not being selfless is the issue here.
The fear, right?
Where is the fear coming from?
The fear isn't ego.
But think about it this way. This is my take on it. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Fear is certain different conditioning.
We fear because we want to live, right? That's a source of fear. The fear is like, I want to survive. That's the only reason for fear. I want to pass on my gene and have kids and survive and move on, and generations by generations, right? So when you fear something, it means like you're worried about that may not happen. That's the only reason for fear. You might go to jail, you might get into an accident, you might get punched, you may get killed, all of that, right? Yes, may not be ego, but I don't know. It's hard to
It could be a mixture of things. Basically, people don't want to spend time on other people. Maybe. People are like too busy. Like you have that. People are too busy to pay attention to other things. They're afraid of the situation.
They're not too busy.
Okay.
It's a choice.
I think it's more complicated than just ego. I think it's a few things that will make a reason why someone wouldn't help somebody. Let's be honest. Everyone is different. They're like, oh, they don't want to deal with that. It's like you're saying, if he smells, maybe someone doesn't want to deal with that. Maybe people don't like the sight of blood. What do you do when someone has their teeth knocked out? I mean, that's pretty daunting. So yeah, I think it's pretty complicated if you think about it. So
yeah, it could be.
I think,
but I mean, honestly, when it's about like helping, I don't think there should be an excuse. Unless if your life is in danger, if someone is waiting there for a gun to shoot you, then that's a different case.
Yeah,
but,
there's no excuse.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm just trying to see it from both sides.
No, I know. There's both sides. I mean, otherwise the reality can be twisted.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah,
it's an odd thing to think about when people are afraid of someone who's homeless. I guess if they're going to attack you and rob you, but if it's just one, I think people are even afraid of maybe one person because they think, well, he's homeless, he'll do anything. And I mean, I think there's just the fear. I mean, it could be the fear. It's fear. Like it could be fear. So, but
I don't know.
You don't fear it. You don't fear it. That's why. And you just go for it.
Yeah, maybe
that's your character. You are a little bit.
In a good way or in a bad way?
No, in a good way. Why not in a good way? I mean, it's but yeah, like the whole jealousy thing. It's the hardest thing to control, judgment, and jealousy.
Yeah.
Why someone is more successful than you, why someone is better looking than you. You simply just have to not care about it as much as that you, if you do care about it. The fact that if you spent time caring about it, I'm sure it will detract from your health, the way you think about yourself. It's bound to. Like, jealousy is, it would, you know how people get so jealous that they like murder people in those crazy situations?
It happens a lot, because that's the moment of anger, is the moment you shouldn't do anything.
So if jealousy is leading to that, pretty bad.
Do you know what's interesting? Bad. They don't actually see that. This is the part that is scary, right? They get jealous, but they don't see it, and they think they're right. That's the problem there. They think they're right. They think they have the right to be jealous of someone, trash someone, or not give a shit about it. I don't know, whatever. I don't want to be like judge anyone in a way. Like, I wanted to say like do this to homeless or whatever. But you get the idea. It's just it is actually wrong, to be honest. And they understand. They know it. They know it inside. They know inside they're wrong. That's the sad part. You can actually read it in their body language. They get sarcastic. Their eyes actually jumps a lot. They make a frown because when you read body language, there's a book from a couple of people. Robert Greene made one. There's another one.
I'm not saying anything.
This one.
Which one is it? What everybody is saying.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I should get that one. I'm gonna get that one.
And there is science behind it. There's an FBI agent wrote that book. So, I mean, you can actually see it in their eyes, in their body language, in their emotions, but they think that they think you cannot see it.
They think, well, they say it's almost, what was it?
They look for confirmation, by the way, these kind of people, like when they're jealous or act in a weird way, they look for confirmation. Narcissist, yes.
So a narcissistic person, like a full-blown narcissistic person, because we're all a little bit narcissistic, so don't feel bad that if you have a little bit of narcissism in you, because that's normal.
But extreme is obvious, right? I mean, we are all. I mean, confidence could be a narcissism. I don't know. It could be translated like that. No,
confidence isn't narcissism. No, it's different. So with narcissistic people, if someone tells you something, so if you say like, oh, you've got 1 million YouTube followers, and then the next day someone says you told that person that you got 1 million YouTube followers, and then the next, I don't know, 5 months later that you lost your YouTube account, that person for like a split second will enjoy if they'll be happy.
Yeah. People actually enjoy seeing you get crushed, which is very sad. Come on. You're actually working for humanity. What are we doing? What the hell?
But I think there's a little bit of narcissistic, because like maybe perhaps people can feel that energy, but it depends when the person is an extreme narcissistic. But like if something, I would say I said the wrong thing, but when something extreme happens, the full-blown narcissist would slightly feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
Because they're never aiming. The way they feel themselves is through the anguish of others.
You know what's interesting?
Is that it?
Yeah. The interesting part, actually, I think I forgot what I wanted to say. Yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say. Continue.
We're talking about body language.
Oh, no, go ahead. Just go ahead. Finish whatever you were saying. Continue.
I think it's. You thought about it?
Yeah, someone says psychopath. Like, that's true. Some people are psychopaths.
Yes, I think it's a psychopath, not a narcissist.
Yes, they enjoy seeing others get crushed. And one of the signs is like psychopath. Usually, they try to confirm each other. And that's one of
Confirm
the
each other.
yeah. Like if I'm a psychopath, I'll actually look for you and say, "Hey, Mike, you're a psychopath. Yeah, you're a psychopath. Tell me something
Let's
good.
go.
Right? Yes, go.
Let's.
Let's fuck everyone. Just destroy everything."
What would Hitler do?
Yeah, that was him, right? How was Hitler getting fed?
It was getting a bunch
People,
of, yeah, didn't he
bunch of idiots
prisoner?
around him,
Yeah.
right? Bunch of narcissists, psychopath, racists.
Mm.
How did
Yeah.
Hitler form? It wasn't him. It's just like you give rise to someone who has the wrong idea, the wrong mindset, and tries to only destroy instead of building. Any form of destroying is wrong. Any form of destroying is wrong. You cannot destroy. You shouldn't destroy anything, because if you destroy something, it's coming back to you at some point. Karma is a bitch. It's coming back to you.
Yeah.
If you can deny it, but when it comes and bites you, then you cannot deny it. It's gonna destroy you.
Well, see, some people don't believe in karma.
Well, it's gonna be bad for them actually.
Yeah,
It's gonna
like,
bite them in the ass.
I used to not believe in karma, and
But
I've
you
had
do.
situations in my life,
Now you
and
do.
that's bite. Yeah,
Yep.
it's bit me in the ass, and so now I do.
It's the energy,
So-
dude. The energy goes around. It doesn't fade.
Yeah.
The energy is consistent. It's constant. It's everywhere. It exists. It's part of our life. That we are all connected. Like I'm connected to you. The day that I messaged you, what the hell? How did I just randomly? I'm like, yeah, let's check this guy. Oh, he has a YouTube channel. Let me message him. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Where is that coming from?
It's pretty much the fact that we both want to grow, and
We're doing the same thing. We're
both
trying to help,
Yeah.
trying to add something, because it's like both of us, we went through different hardships in life, right? And we can see the value, where the value is.
Yeah. Like we want to grow something in similar fashion, and so it's not like when we first chatted to each other, we both had the same, before knowing anything about each other, both had the same similar
Exactly.
goal.
Same energy level. You're in Australia, I'm in US.
Yeah. It's weird like that, in the sense that we're both working in the same way, working on ourselves and working on our mindsets.
You know what's weird? I told you, I'm working with a guy now. He messaged me. He's one of my students as well. And he's helping me with the things that I didn't know. I needed someone like him to help me. And now he's helping me. And then the other day, someone else messaged me and said, hey, I can help you to edit your videos. I'm like, how much do you charge? Nothing. I just want to help. That's the energy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Where is it coming from?
Yeah.
I needed someone to help me like that. Make logos or help me to... Because I'm trying to add something to the community, right? It comes back to me. That's karma. It comes back to you fast. Really fast.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It is. I've seen actually
Yeah.
people get fucked because of their ego and jealousy and narcissism and psychopathic way of thinking. They're everywhere. It comes back to you. Like if I do something wrong, I'm constantly shaking because I know, I did something wrong. It's gonna come back to me. No, what should I do? I need to fix it.
Yeah, you know when you've done something wrong. Like if you've done something wrong by someone, let's say you stole $100 from someone.
Yeah, you know it.
Right? You know it. You essentially know it. Essentially. So I think what happens is basically we store everything we do wrong, and some point you're going to be held accountable in some sort of fashion. You just don't know it.
You know what will happen? Those people that actually do this kind of jealousy, ego, psychopathic behaviors and all that, either they will understand by time, or they will keep attacking you or others or whoever they want to attack, and they will either fix it at some point or it will be too late, and when they die, they will actually regret everything they did in their life. That's what I'm scared of. Well, I'm not worried about. I don't care if someone hires me or not. I don't care about games, movies. I don't care about anything basically. I just care about lives. I just care about my wife. I just care about friends. Because it's all gonna go away. I mean, it's all material and stuff. Why do you work? You don't need to actually work. You can go to forest, find a way to harvest your food and live without any problem.
You could do that, definitely.
You can. You can 100%. There are YouTube video channels. They're doing it
There we
very
go.
well. The guy is healthy.
Yeah.
He's strong. He doesn't have any issues. His teeth are good. His organs are good. He's actually getting younger because he lives in nature. Nature heals you, right? But we live in a society. There is a reason for that, because we want to add value. We want to actually become immortal. We want to change life, right? So
Yeah.
when I say this, it's just some people might agree, some may disagree. When you say this, it's the same. Like they might agree or disagree, but you cannot change the reality of life. It doesn't matter what you say. What you say is just words. It's limited. It doesn't affect anything. It does affect in the negativity, but it's just like you're actually going to destroy yourself. Basically, that's what it is.
So you're saying negativity?
Yeah, jealousy, negativity. Because when you get old and you're 70 years old, when you're 80 years old, and when you're dying on a natural death, at least you have a chance to think about it. And when you think about it, you will actually regret it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go, there's a research they did about going to these houses, talking to old men and women on their 70s or 80s when they were dying. They were actually talking to them, and they said, I regret 5 different things. I didn't do what I wanted to do. I did this, I did that, I didn't help. So all the material things actually go away. It's just like they regret the fear, they regret all the negative things. Right? I mean, think about it. How do you think Hitler was thinking when he was dying? Do you think he was happy about everything he did?
I don't know. I think he was probably still full of his own ego at that point.
I think he didn't express it. I think at the last moment, because my feeling is like this. Yeah, there's no way we are alive. He thought the ego didn't let him to actually express it. Every human being is like that.
Do you think? Well, the question is, people tend to kill themselves out of guilt.
Yes, because they have the fear. They are fearful to express themselves.
So the fact that he wanted to kill himself, he would make an excuse instead.
That's the point. He knew he did wrong. He knew that what he did was wrong. That's why he killed himself. He didn't want to deal with the consequences.
Could be.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't tell you I'm wrong, because the ego is too big, even when you die. But he knows inside.
Yeah.
But you know what's sad?
It's true.
The last moment that you're fucked up and you don't have a chance to fix it. That's gonna destroy you to eternity.
Yeah. It will take you down. I mean, there's not many other of his henchmen, the people that around him, I think killed themselves, did they? Yeah. They just ended up handing themselves in.
Yeah, some people
they thought they will not be killed after, like be trialed and then go to prison.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's a lot of people that just agree with him because he was so I rule with the iron fist, but those people were just, it's like the monkey see, monkey do, and they just followed along with it, and which was crazy. But yeah, I mean, Hitler is a whole different thing, and that's why it's always such a long history with. You see so many documentaries on Hitler, so many. There's so many out there.
There are people like Hitler out there. That's the scary part.
Just no one who's, I don't know.
Yeah. No one who is in power. Yeah, there is in power, like in Iran, the government.
In Iran?
Yeah,
like Hitler, you say?
Yeah, they're like Hitler. If they had the power, they would actually attack everyone.
Yeah?
Yeah, of
really?
course, man. Yeah, they kill Iranians just left and right without any problem. In one day of protesting, they killed 1,500 people in the street. Direct shot.
Wow.
Point blank. Like, kill them without them knowing it.
Jeez. Yeah. No, it's terrible. Like,
it is. And there are people that are like that. They have the power. And there are who don't have the power. If they have the power, they will destroy you. This is scary. On a small level, on big organizations, that's why some businesses fail, because it's controlled by psychopathic, narcissistic people. Because all they care about is their own, feeding their own ego and their own satisfaction. and their own, like basically they want to be the best and brag about it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's you know, it goes well. It's like it goes well to get the business off the ground, but you end up burning people out and sacrificing people in the process.
Yeah.
And then the duration of how long that company is around is shorter than it would be
Yeah.
double or triple instead of the very short duration of how long
Yeah.
it is. You can't rule. I mean, you can't rule with an iron fist. It's like that
You
hippie thing,
cannot.
you know, use love,
Do you know
not
the law of Newton's law?
Newton's law.
Newton.
What is
So when you is it Newton? Let me actually check. Is that Newton? I think it is. Let me check. Hold on a second. I want to make sure that I'm not quoting the wrong person. Law of motion.
Oh, sorry about that.
So basically, if you push, let's say like you put your hand on a wall, right? Your fist and push, what's going to happen?
Well, you couldn't.
You cannot,
you
right?
do it.
That's a force that you're putting on the wall, and it comes back to you. The force of energy comes back to you, right? If your fist is stronger than the wall, it's going to go through. But if it's not, you're going to break your hand, right? So when you actually use the negative force to actually basically use it against others, that person doesn't need to do anything. The negative will come back to you. It's going to push you back. It's going to destroy you. You know what I mean? There's a pushback. Every push you do naturally, based on physics law, there is a pushback.
Yeah. So you're saying if you push against, but I mean, how does that work for, say, pushing with work? I mean, you have resistance with work, but you're saying literal a wall where you shouldn't be pushing?
It's not just wall. It's just everything. Like if there's a negative thing coming to me, if I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me. I'm going to try to find a better example.
How would that work in terms of people? You know, how does that work in terms of?
Basically, it's a hard example. It's hard to give you an example. It's just like I think I can relate it to negative energy. If I use my jealousy or my ego to act against you, even if you don't do anything, I'm going to harm myself because that energy will come back to me. Because the force, you know, the force of the nature, the law of the physics, is not going to be just one way. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
Right. So I actually think about it. I'm like, if sometimes, like I want to do something, I want to do buy something, or I want to do something against you, right? If I cannot do it, if I insist it's gonna come back to me. I'm harming myself at that point. If something is good, if something is on the positive side, because positive has more impact. How do I say? Is it stronger than negative? You see the negative, but positive is stronger because, I mean, you can see we are still alive after hundreds of thousands of years of evolving. We still exist with all the shit that we did, because there was a small positivity in some sides, right? At some point, humans actually there was only like 18,000 people alive on Earth, right? I mean, we were getting extinct.
Really low. Yeah.
Yes, we were almost dying. So we came back.
Yeah.
Because something positive happened, right? And the force was stronger than the negative side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I'm like, when something negative happens, I actually try to get rid of it fast. Like try to shake it off. Like move on. Yeah.
Yeah, it negatively charges you.
Yeah,
and essentially you can only think of one thing at a time. So why the hell would you want to see negativity?
I mean, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, it is. So it's like you couldn't, Well, it's like saying you couldn't be happy all the time because your serotonin will burn out
Yeah.
and you'll be blah blah blah. But you can be that type of neutral, which I think so we have that disillusion, right? So like the disillusion of let's say if you wanted to get a job, right? The job that you do, you would always like, I want to have fun with my job. Like I
Yeah.
want to let's say for an extreme, I want to like eat candy as my job. And let's say the exchange is like you don't get fat from the candy. You don't there's no side effect apart from the side effect on the brain.
Yeah.
Right? Eventually, what would the brain do? The brain would you get serotonin hit, and it's like, this is my job. I eat candy. Yum yum yum. Enjoyable. So like you can't have that. Like so people don't get it in the sense that I don't know. Like is the saying kind of every job that it accomplishes something has to suck at some points. So you know the
Yeah.
Robert Greene thing.
Yes.
The reward comes from later.
It's always later. Yes.
And that's when you can enjoy the high moments. I think that's the moment you can enjoy, because I think you know how you say you're going to have to deal with the highs and lows.
Yeah.
Let's say if you ate candy, no matter what, you're stuck with having to deal with the lows, and after a while, the lows will get too low because you're eating candy and you'll keep tapping out your serotonin, and every time you go back to it and you keep doing it again, you're saying this is what I do want to do for work. I want to enjoy myself. I want to because everyone, I think what people don't realize is that work kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you sit and you do your work, it kind of sucks, but you've got the goal fueling you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And that will keep you moving. But the thing is, you can't sit in that enjoyable state. It doesn't work. I think we're going. I can't remember what we're talking about, but
It doesn't matter.
Sitting
Good topics.
Yeah, sitting in the enjoyable state, you have to do the things that suck to get the reward of the upper.
And you know, the only way you get the only way you
fun.
get the reward is not just by talking shit or jealousy or ego or anything like that. No entrepreneur, no big person with a lot of change did that. They actually go forward, they fight, they actually make a change. And if you do whatever you do, like do the crap, it's not going to change anything. You're going to stay the same shit you are. That's the reality of life. If I'm doing shit, I'm going to stay shit.
Yeah.
If I think about, I mean, do you think Elon Musk could be like this if he was like thinking about jealousy or ego or he doesn't have
that's why
he doesn't have time for that.
I mean, he sold his houses.
Yeah.
And all his stuff.
And he has money. He can buy the whole country with his money right now.
And the thing is, it's the extra attention to. I think he's so fueled on life and wanting. I think he gets his rewards by seeing the progress of people seeing his rockets go launch, seeing all the fact that SpaceX is going to go to Mars, and I think when is it 2033?
2030, something like that. Yes, very soon. We'll see it if we are
alive.
So
the fact that you get to see that's going to be. Imagine if you had that on the news. How good you'd feel.
I would feel good. I would feel good as a human being. Like every time he launches a space, I don't feel like it's him. It's part of humanity, man.
Imagine when it actually we'll watch the news at some point, and we'll be watching the first rocket for
going to Mars with humans.
Going to Mars.
Wow.
We're gonna see it. Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? Think about it. Let's say we have wars and stuff, right? We go to war because of our ego or because everyone is worse than us and we are better than them. We're jealous of a country or whatever, of a person or whatever. think about it this way. What if aliens attack us, if there's an alien being with advanced forces and extreme like technology, let's say Star Trek level technology, if they come to us, are we going to sit here and say, hey, you're fucking shit, you don't know what you're doing, I'm better than you, yeah, come get me? Are we going to do that, or are we going to work together?
I think what will happen is that all this stuff will trickle down. And then we'll get people who are like all about the money going to the other planet and getting some really unique minerals.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
That's what will happen. So I think the technology will trickle down, and you'll be like, hey, let's say if you knew somebody and they were like, you knew they weren't a good actor in the sense that what they did was bad things in life, but they had a lot of money. Like they're going to buy a SpaceX rocket or a mining colony, a rocket. So that like, there's like, like Aliens movie, the rocket that this massive or not, it's not a rocket, but a spaceship that they go and mine stuff with and come back, and you could have like maybe people will illegally mine the moon, stuff like that. So I mean they had that in what is it, that new Brad Pitt movie, is it Ad Astra?
Is it coming out, or is it out? Is it out?
Ad Astra. Yeah. Ad Astra. So yeah, they had space pirates in there.
Yep. So, what's happening in the science community? They're more connected, basically, because the level of knowledge is kind of extreme. Those who experience other types of knowledge besides their own profession, they're easier to deal with. Like when you understand a bunch of different concepts and different categories of knowledge and whatever, it will be easier to talk to you. I don't know if you noticed that, like people they understand music, they understand like science, this and that, and when you talk to them, they're so humble. They talk to you, they answer all of your questions. You know what I mean? I don't know if you had to saw anyone like that basically in your life.
People who do music, or just another
people with more than one focused profession. People that are diversified on their knowledge.
Yeah,
like Da Vinci, for example, right?
Well, I mean, you never met Da Vinci, though.
No, but I mean, you can read about it.
I mean, didn't Da Vinci get a lot of? Wasn't he hard to work with, or something like that?
I'm not sure.
Or was it Michelangelo? Is it Da Vinci? Well, you have not. What is it? The two. I always get it mixed up. Is it Michelangelo, Da Vinci, right?
Could be.
Then. What's the other guy that they were kind of in?
Bernini. I think Bernini was.
No, I got it mixed up. So you have it's Michelangelo.
Yes.
But then you have Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes.
Right. Why am I getting those mixed up? But they were around the same time. They were in the same time.
Medici put them together. Medici actually is the one who helped all of them to get somewhere.
Medici?
Yes. You know about Medici? He's the man behind all of these advanced Renaissance man masterminds. You should read about
it. What's his name?
Medici.
Medici.
What it's called, Medici. House of Medici. The House of Medici was an Italian banking family and political dynasty that first began to gather prominence under Cosimo de' Medici in the Republic of Florence during the first half of 15th century.
So you got them two together working.
Rise to 15th century. So increase the wealth of the family. Medici's, let's say Medici was on art. Search for Medici. The Medici are most famous for their patronage of the arts. Patronage is where a wealthy person or a family sponsors artists. They would pay artists commissions for major works of art. So that's what it is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this guy actually is the reason that they could get rich and work, and he was a fan of art. He was sponsoring artists, and he was rich. The family was rich, basically.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Angelo.
That's pretty interesting.
This is the thing. Like, someone can be huge, but they can be so humble. You know, there was a lot of attacks on Bill Gates. That actually, I'm like, how stupid some people can be talk about Bill Gates like that. I mean, what the fuck? Like, this dude gave up half of his wealth to do something good. Do you have any even this guy, the guy that is working on the pandemic thing? I forgot his name because I'm not following.
Well, we've got the vaccine here.
I don't know, maybe
in Australia.
But you see, you hear all of this stupid, conspiracy theories. Where's your fucking proof? You talk shit, but you don't have anything to prove it. You're talking. Yeah, people just talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And they just. That's it. Like, it's the best way to say it. I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Where's the proof? Where's the actual thing?
It's a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of knowledge. And I was seeing actually some artists were talking about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not going anywhere good. You don't read a book. You don't even read one page of a book, and now you're actually judging what Bill Gates is doing is wrong or not wrong. Yeah. Talking against vaccines. What the hell is that? Are you that small that you're seeking for attention to actually attack someone like that? The guy doesn't even know you. Like, he doesn't even care about you. He can vanish you just like that. Like, his wealth is enough that he doesn't even think about you. No matter how much negativity you put on him, those who actually do that, which is sad.
It's probably how they got to those positions in the first place.
Yeah, blaming others because of their failures,
Yeah.
That's probably the reason.
I mean, the fact that I'm sure he doesn't think about what people say about him.
No, he doesn't. Why should he? He's doing the right thing. He's doing a good thing. He's making clean water for Africans in some areas of Africa from out of nowhere, out of thin air. He's making clean water. He actually stepped down from Microsoft to actually focus on philanthropy's adventures, basically. So he had ego, by the way, right? Bill Gates had ego when he was young. Yeah, huh?
It would get to you.
Yes, but he dropped it. Right now, he's just a wise man.
And look, he's been married as well. He's married for years and years and years.
Yeah, marriage is.
I think a real thing of like, it would be really hard for him to have an ego, because I think the ego would feed off the fact that he's so wealthy that he would be able to like do crazy stuff. So why even, why if he was married and he did all these crazy things, his wife wouldn't want to stay with him because he'd be too out of control.
Yes.
Unless you're saying that they're both in the same type of
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. If you're both the same, it's not gonna work. It won't work.
It won't work. Yeah. They say if two
psychopaths cannot live with each other
and coexist,
yes,
they destroy each other.
They destroy each other. The ego is too big.
Yeah, it's an insane amount of energy.
Yeah, it's like two good artists with a lot of ego. Can they work together?
No,
it's just simple as that.
Yeah,
you need to be ready to get feedback and receive feedback from good artists.
If two good artists work together.
When I say feedback, that makes sense. If someone gives you nonsense, you shouldn't accept it. It doesn't matter who this person is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's a side that people are like, yeah, you should always get feedback. No, you shouldn't always get feedback. You should only get feedback when it's correct, and you can test it. Test it. If it works, then you know it's correct. If it doesn't work, then you shouldn't take that feedback. And you will know. And you will know under work, on anything in life. And someone gives you a feedback. Hey, you shouldn't live. Maybe you should buy a more expensive car. Why you live like this? Buy the expensive car and see what happens to your life. You have to pay payments forever if you you'll pay for it.
It might make it.
There are people
Hey?
actually giving. No, it will not make it better. It will not make it better. If you waste money, it's not going to get better. It's just going to get
All
worse.
right, yeah, I know what you mean. But I mean, sometimes people, if it gets them out of a funk, I'm just saying, like, if they makes them work hard, because some people
No,
are
it's not
different.
going to happen. It's not instant
Not gonna happen.
gratification. There are certain people with entrepreneurship mindset. They'll find a way to make money from dust. You know what I mean? That's a different mindset.
Yeah,
But majority actually don't understand how to deal with money. We all do that. We all make the same mistakes. We grow, but some people never learn, and they always stay broke because of the bad advices they get from others. You should have fun. Why
yeah,
you're not, doing this? Oh, you should have fun. You should go out and have fun. Why you work so much? Or oh, dude, you should sometimes spend money, buy a good car for yourself, enjoy it. Is that enjoying really? I mean, it's gonna destroy you financially. Do you want the freedom or a shiny car for 2 months to enjoy it? Feed your ego.
yeah,
Tell someone, this is what Dave Ramsey says. I don't know if you know him. He's a financial guy. He says, get a fucking stupid car, you a stupid person, pay a lot of money to a stupid car because you want to brag about your car to someone on a traffic like that. You don't even give a shit about their lives. You don't even care who this person is. But you want to tell them, hey, I have this car, and you pay $1,000 a month for car payment every month, and you just destroy your life, basically. That's a bad advice when someone tells you that.
yeah. It is.
So that's not a good feedback. That's not a good advice. You shouldn't listen to things like that.
Yeah. Buy a shitty car and have a nice house, maybe.
But yeah, that's the way. And then you can buy a good car.
Yeah. Just wait to buy those things, especially if it's not like it's. I think you have different things. Say if you were like, people justify when they need to spend money on a computer, you spend money. If you had to, you I don't know, like if you want to eat healthy, you spend money because you want to buy good food.
Yeah,
because that will reflect in you. So there's certain things what you do, but a car, if it needs to get A to B, you just need to get A to B, and it doesn't matter how you get there. Like, unless the car is like a statement thing, and people are gonna like pay you more money.
I would buy a car, but you know what? I told you, when I can afford a McLaren, I will buy it. That's the car I like. If I cannot afford it, I'm not gonna enjoy anything else. I'm going to work hard for it. I'm going to invest in real estate. I'm going to do other things, and others can be jealous of me, of my success, of your success, because I know we will both get the things that we want. Some people can learn from it. We can help others if we can, right? That's my goal, actually. If I do the things that I can do, I'm going to help as many as I can. And those who don't like it, they can go fuck themselves, basically.
Demonetization as well.
Is it?
Yeah, isn't it? No, it's a little bit. A little bit.
Okay. I should have stopped swearing.
You weren't meant to swear because it's like a certain energy that you get off when you swear. It's like negativity. That's what we're like discussing. It's like I've really tried my best to stop swearing because I want to see how.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it depends on what you're intending to do, right? I mean, when you swear at negativity, you push it away. It's a good feeling. But in general, you cannot just go around and
you could say like, you could be like, it sounds corny to be like, get away negativity.
It's too soft.
Yeah,
but you're right. I think I need to practice that. Actually, you're right.
Just give it a shot. I mean, just try and be like, I don't know. Like I was making eggs today, and I had boiling water pour in my hand a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like, that's normal. Just is it good or bad? Like, it's just like I assessed it. Well, like I'm not going to swear at it. I didn't even react. I didn't get angry. Nothing. I was like, the quicker I move on, my hand hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I forgot about it. See, I've actually forgot about it. And then I started thinking about it now. I'm like, it hurts a little bit. So like the quicker that's what I was saying about just, you could sit there and obsess about, the fact that you burnt your hand, or you could just go and
someone asked, Angel is asking, guys, do you feel burned out? Do you feel burnt out? I don't feel burned out since I started actually thinking about small goals and thinking about the things. Like, we talk a lot about this, like plans and what we can do to improve our life.
I mean,
You
you
know?
do get burnout, but then you just go and recharge.
The way that I recharge is like every time I get a good message, someone is saying, "Hey, you changed this. This is great," or "I learned so much from you." I mean, I do mentorship. You're doing the same. We talk about this sometimes.
Mm.
It's just like
Yeah.
the message when you get it from the people. Hey, I received like randomly people message me. I like one of my students was saying, "Hey, I mean, this is how I get recharged." He was like, "Dude, I
Mm.
never had anyone teaching me this way. This is great. I'm learning." And he was showing his progress, and I was like, "Okay, this is great. I'm actually adding some value. So as long as I add that,
Mm.
I'm gonna keep doing it." Sometimes I'm tired when I want to go to the class, but I'm like, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna forget the tiredness, and I'm gonna do it. That's how
And
you
it'll pick
recharge.
up.
Yeah, it will pick up. And in the past, actually, when my goal was small, I had a problem with that because I was getting tired and burned out, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know
Mm.
what I want to do in life. I'm not doing art anymore for getting hired or working for studios. That's a
Mm.
different topic. Like, I mean, I enjoy doing projects and stuff, but that happens on the way. And when I get a client, I
Yeah.
will do my best to actually take care of them, the best
Yeah.
customer service I can do. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how you should do it. And when you do good customer service, client would like you. They will give you more project regardless of your mindset. You know,
Mm.
you do good games. You ship the game you enjoy or whatever the project is, right?
Yeah.
So
You do, and you get rewarded by that.
yeah, I mean, um, yeah, that's how you actually you don't get burnt out. I mean, I don't like recently for the past. I actually have a and the momentum that I have right now is insane. Like I could never do this. I don't know. It's just insane. I keep pushing
It's because
forward.
you're getting that ball rolling. It's
Yeah.
snowball effect.
Yes.
You don't. Yeah.
And I
You
actually, you know what? I told
takes
you
a
this.
little bit.
Yeah, I use
It
data.
just,
You know, when you
mm.
gather data over the months, you can see the
Mm.
growth. And when you when you
Mm.
can see the growth, then you can actually get more energy. You're like, okay,
Mm.
the first year the growth was one. First month was one. Second one was three. Third was six, and then 10, and then
Mm.
12, and then 20. There's ups and downs, but there's like bigger jumps,
Mm. Yeah.
jumps like that. You know. Those are the
Mm.
boosters. Like when I start feeling like down, then I see the data. I'm like, oh wow, okay, now I should do
I
something like
mean,
this, or something
I
like
think you
that.
maybe had that when you said you just kind of stopped YouTube for a little bit,
Yeah,
and then you picked that up again.
yeah.
I was a little bit like that. I kind of like stopped my YouTube for a little bit, and now I'm picking it up again.
The thing
That's what you're
is, people
saying.
need to understand is the success is always. I'm not successful on YouTube or anything like that yet, but
Mm.
I'm getting success on the goals that I set for myself. Right, I set goals, and I'm
Mm.
actually saying, okay, I achieved this goal this year. I achieved this goal this month. Next month, I have this goal. I need to find a way to achieve that. When I achieve it, that's like a booster. So you get there, it's like pushing you, jumping to the next one, right?
Yeah.
And YouTube is like doing these podcasts and stuff, or talking to people and giving advice or whatever. We are nobody to give advice, but what we can do basically to give based on our life experiences, because at the end of the day, we don't know anything. Like that's the reality. But
Yeah. I've got it on my wall. You don't know anything.
exactly. But the
Mm.
reality is this. I mean, what was the thing that I was talking about? You get energy from
Sorry.
yeah, you get energy
Energy from hitting your goals.
from making a change, right? I mean, here's the thing. The change comes at the time that you actually don't expect it. The moment that people try to give
Mm.
up, that's the moment the change is coming. Because up
Yeah.
to that point, you have tried everything, and then you failed all the time, or you failed and fixed some stuff, but you're failing on a bigger scale. That's when actually, if you keep going, you'll figure out new ways, or you might see results. It's just a long
Yeah.
game. If you play the long game, you're the winner. If you play the short game,
Yeah.
you're the loser.
Mm.
So
It's always a good one to remember. Just want to rephrase that. Yeah. Change comes when you least expect it.
yes, that's true.
Or
It's always the last minute. It's on everything, even art, right? When you draw, when you sculpt,
yeah.
it's always the last
Mm.
10% that you make the change. People get
Yeah.
rich on the last minute.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's
People get rich on the last minute.
yeah, because look at Elon Musk. His net worth just jumped like crazy, like
Mm.
500%.
It,
Right?
it is like that, isn't it?
Yep.
All right.
And that's when people give up. Like right before they actually jump, they give up. They get to the spring, and they actually don't jump on the pad to actually get the next jump, or to the booster.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we'll finish on that note. People get rich people rich at the last minute.
Angel says you're doing a big job to share your mindset, like audiobook, but more interesting. That's great. I think we all have to go through a lot of hardships, obstacles to make a change, to live together. That's what matters, like helping others, doing something good to make you feel good, to make others feel good around you. Spread the positive energy, spread the love, no matter what others tell you or how wrong you are. If you know you're right, you should just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And sharing is actually caring when you share what you know. And I came from a hard life. Like I was always put down, I was bullied, I was whatever you want to call it. Like I didn't have, like, I had the roof, I had food, my parents were nice and everything, but in general was not what I like. When I think about it now, I see the effect of my childhood sometimes, living in a hard country and all that. But if I can go through that, everyone can.
Yeah.
And I'm on the beginning. Right. I'm in the beginning right now, like you.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave it there. I think your audio has gone a bit funny, by the way. So it's
my audio.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't know why
really?
It just went funny. No, it's good now.
It should be good. By the way, subscribe to his channel. This is Mike Nash. That is Siamak Roshani. I said it the other way. I'm Siamak. That's Mike Nash. Welcome to this podcast. And now it's time to subscribe. Hit the like button, share it, leave some comments, share your thoughts, and share what you guys want us to talk about next one. If you have ideas, I mean, we don't have.
We'll go.
We might actually change the schedule because I think we could get more views. Like
you mean like on a Sunday?
Yeah,
my Sunday.
Maybe Sunday at 1 p.m. My 1 p.m. is a good time to get more views.
We meant to do it yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday I was busy. I had 2 classes.
Yeah, me too. I was busy too. So
let's do it next Sunday at 1 p.m. Right?
Blink Nash if bored. What do you mean blink if we're bored? That's so stupid.
Don't say that. That's negative.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
That's not negative.
What does it mean? I didn't get the point. Cappuccino, what does it mean? I didn't get the point. Blink Nash if bored?
I'm just standing.
Oh? No, you're busy.
What?
You want to go.
What's that?
You want to go. It's time to go. We did.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to go. Yeah, because a timer has gone off.
See, it says, I love you. Thanks, dude. He knows that. He's just kidding.
Love you too. Okay. Yeah, I had to go and I kept extending the timer out.
Yeah, that's good.
It's another 5 minutes. So, all right.
It's a good conversation. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Right. See you guys next time. Thanks, guys.
Right.
Bye.